Uh, when you feel that okay, this is not going right, I am not feeling very good about certain things, the best way is to seek professional help, as they will definitely guide you through the whole process. How can you go? We do counseling. We just talk and we help you. We help you in making decisions, coping, problem solving, academic planning, all of those things. So if you get help, definitely it's like you have a pillar to stand on, and then you can move forward. Um, Yeah, so there is one thing. When we say get professional help, you need to actually not take it really lightly, and you need to know the value of therapy, and if at all your advice medication, why do you need it, and what is the best way to go about it. So I clear this out for all students, and I would like to say when you actually begin with any counseling process, as it is called, or when you consult a psychiatrist, when you consult a psychologist, or a counselor, a psychotherapist, anybody from the mental health profession, uh, it's in a way a very simple process, but yet very intense, in-depth process. So it's like how you would normally go to a doctor. You tell them that, look, just for example, if you go to a general physician to discuss about your fever and the throat pain that you have. So same way you would go to a mental health professional and discuss with them and tell them about how you've been feeling, how is your sleep, how is your food intake. These are certain basic questions that every mental health professional would ask you. And definitely, if we sense, then we will definitely ask the person whether the person has ever felt like harming himself or harming someone around the person. And definitely, if you have felt it, and you would also bring it to the notice of the professional. So it all begins with that, and the whole process is a very confidential process, and we there is a lot of consent that we take, that the information that you discuss with us remains with us. Definitely, there is a whole clause especially when you're feeling suicidal, or you feel like harming yourself in any way. um, if at all you have discussed it with a mental health professional, the mental health professional will, in time, if at all you call out the professional and say, look, I feel like attempting suicide and I'm going to do this. So at that time is the only time when a professional will breach the whole confidentiality thing, only to save your life, because definitely it's not necessary that a professional is around you and can help you stop indulging in any harming behavior. So, there's family, there's friends, there are authorities that are informed, so that we can take care of the situation as a whole. So that's how basically it works. And then there are multiple times that you talk to the professional, you discuss what's going on. The professional gives you some guidance, gives you tips, helps you go forward with it, and in that sense makes you more confident about how.
Okay. धन्यवाद.
So that's how the process works, and then you go forward. And as you go forward, definitely you feel better. And the reason why you take medicines, like I mentioned earlier, at certain time, when you have a car, you definitely, apart from the petrol, you also put in that oil or whatever to get it, functioning really well. At those times, same way in human body, there are certain receptors in our brain that need a push, so that you are mentally fit and emotionally you are there to handle anything that comes your way. So it's just that you're giving that extra push to your brain, and that's how you deal with it. That's the only reason why. And definitely, there is again another whole thing that you can get addicted to it. And what if I have to always take those medicines? So you need to trust your psychiatrist over there. You need to trust the professional, because he knows what he is doing, and he'll definitely give you the medicines if they are not required, and you take only what's required. Okay, that's one important thing. And now I go to the next thing that you can do for yourself. Okay, regulating emotions and avoiding impulsive behavior. Now many a times we get restless. I want to do this, let me do this, and you do it. But every impulsive act is not something that you have to indulge in. So in those times, if you would have spoken about, you know, that you're restless, you're stressed, and that whole thing, अगर मैंने बात नहीं की तो मेरा ये हो जाएगा, वो हो जाएगा, and I have to do this, I have to do that. Yes, you may have to do it, but how you do it is what matters, and that's what you need to calm down and then take the decision. Again, resting and relaxing out when you are getting restless and impulsive is a hard task, but if you practice it all throughout your daily life, that's when you are able to master this thing. Learning to stay calm under pressure, a very difficult thing. It does not happen. It might sound all like, oh, you have to just meditate and be cool and you can handle it. No, it's a known fact. It's not very easy, but the only way a good way to handle pressure is if you have actually planned pre-handedly. That's when situations come, you do not feel excessive stress. It's like when you are preparing for exams. If you do it last minute, definitely, oh my God, I haven't studied XYZ. This is also important. That is also important. How will I finish it in one night? But the same thing, if you would have done even 2 days, 5 days, 1 month before, definitely one night before the exam, you're going to be a little more confident that yes, I have read it earlier and now I just need to review it. Those are the kind of things. A little pre-planning and a little scheduling is something that really helps you not feel the pressure. Realistic optimism. Again, many a times we're like, oh, how can you be all happy? There is always hope. There's always a good ending. But based on what your needs are, based on what situations you are, there's always hope and there's always a good feeling. Yeah, you don't have to always, be in that whole thing. I will never face any stress. I will always be happy. I will never feel low. I will never feel sad. I will never feel angry. I will not feel frustrated. No, there are always going to be situations. So you need to you need to check in on what's realistic and what's getting just too much. It's like if I tell you, well, all your life from this very moment, you do not have to feel sad. That's not going to happen. It's absolutely normal to feel sad because you cannot be, there are times when you don't get everything that you want, and that in itself gets a little disappointment. Disappointment leads to sadness, and that's how it happens. But it's just that how we deal with disappointments, and we accept that we are going to face the disappointment. Acceptance to the situation is something that really works, and that's how that's something that even a professional will help you do. And even something that you should keep in mind, that I can be in this situation, but I can also deal with it. I can also find another solution to the problem. Recharging, engaging in self-care. How many of you know what self-care is? Come on, I want people to answer this.
Doing what we like and what makes us happy. So concentrating on that more, whatever makes us happy, allotting a certain time in a day to do that stuff like yoga, exercise, dance, art, etc.
Now honestly tell me, how many of us actually take out that time for ourselves? Anybody? Like, if we know we need to go, we need to study, we need to cook, we need to eat, we need to sleep, we need to help around in the house, we need to work, we need to finish assignments, there are projects. But how many of us actually say, I need to do this for myself too?
Ma'am, at the end of the day, self-care matters a lot. Like, it's just like similar to stress buster.
True. But the point is, how many of us actually in our routine actually say that let me do this for myself?
Ma'am, honestly speaking, we have a lots of time, but we spend our time on Instagram and many other social media sites.
Then we hear some gossip on Instagram, and then we are all into that gossip. Let me know what happened at this point, and then we are passing on messages. Either we are getting stressed ourselves or we are stressing another person. So that's one thing that I would really say, in your routine, in what you need to do, have that one thing that makes you happy. It can be a very simple task, even if it is just sitting by yourself and having a cup of tea, or just listening to one song that you like. It can be as simple as that. You don't have to do, you don't need to go to a for a spa. You don't need to go for a dinner. You don't need to have alcohol to enjoy. Alcohol drinking, I do not propagate it, but I'm just saying that that is our thing, that if you do this, then that's when I have fun. But no, you can have fun with very simple things. Even just regulating your sleep pattern. I know as students we are all going to be sleeping all throughout, and जब पढ़ाई करना होता है तब सबसे ज़्यादा नींद आती है, and all of those things happen. But even regulating sleep pattern, your food patterns, is something that you can do for yourself, and that is also a part of self-care. Okay. Practice methods to slow down. We want to do everything in a hurry. आज ये भी करेंगे, वो भी करेंगे, इधर भी जाएंगे, इससे बात करेंगे, ये मुझे complete करना है. If I don't do this, then I will not be successful, and where is the time, etc., etc. But you don't have to do everything together. You are not Superman. You are not Spider-Man who can go flying here and then go flying to another spot. You're not Flash. You are just one person who can care for yourself and do what you need to do, but does not mean that you need to do everything together. You may want to study the full syllabus in one day. Yeah, when we are doing last minute studies, everything happens. We have studied everything which we couldn't study in a whole month. But again, you are not Superman, you're not Superwoman. You are one person who can only be yourself, and that's what you need to do. Okay, you don't need to rush into things. There's always a right time, and you can start at your own time, your own comfort level, and go ahead with it. Just because someone told you that you need to do, that does not mean you disregard what your teachers, your parents tell you, but there is always that right time to do certain things. Okay. Positive life coping strategies. That may sound too jargony to you all. What is she saying? How can we be positive, and how can there be a coping strategy? Well, the fact of the matter is, the way you face the situation, or whether you move back from a situation and you choose to avoid it, that in itself is also a coping thing. And you need to learn, and you need to know at what situation would you want to face it and discuss out, and what situation do you want to take a step back and then come back. It's like, when there's a bomb blast, how many of us want to get into it and pull out the people, and how many of us are at the back actually helping people deal with the other calamities. That's just one normal example that I would like to give. And reasons for living. There's always a purpose in life, and we really don't, and many a times, shit, there is nothing that I can do. There's nothing that I can look forward to. Why should I be in this situation? God has been so mean. My parents haven't supported me. My family, my friends are not understanding what I want to say. And this is such a pathetic situation. My boss doesn't listen to me. Blah, 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 blah. But then you'll be like, oh my God, there's nothing to look forward to. But at that time, I want everybody to switch on their cameras and put your hand towards your heart. Come on, let's do that. Switch on your cameras and get your hand towards your heart. Do you all feel something? You can nod. You don't have to put on your. Do you feel something? Okay. That in itself is a purpose. You don't have to immediately at that particular time, have a whole set of goals in front of you that 2 years later I will be at this job, I will be completing my graduation, I will be doing X, Y, Z, I will be married, I will have kids. But if you do not have a definite plan, there is one thing that you have, that is yourself, and that in itself is a reason to look forward to things. Okay. Um, I'm just skipping over some stuff because we are, I think, running short on time too. Okay. Find safe space. There is always going to be that one person who, there could be more also. There will be that person who you feel most comfortable with. हाँ इसने मेरी बात सुनी, हाँ मैं उसको तो बता सकता हूँ. Let me give a call. ये तो मेरी बात सुनता ही है, kind of a thing. Okay, that's your space, and that's when that's something that you can do and talk. It could be your friend, family, anybody. Okay, or it could be even your diary where you write down your thoughts. That's your space. Okay, say yes to therapy. He's nodding his head only to tell you that when you feel distressed, when you feel anxious, when you feel low, and if you feel the need to, if there's someone telling you seek help, please nod your head, go forward and get help. Okay. If you hate your life, change the way of your life. Suicide should not be committed because of what if. Okay. This basically means that what if I had this and I can't get this, but there is something else that you can get, and work towards that rather than let, oh God, I can get this. Okay. Being kind to yourself. When we can't achieve anything, or when we are having multiple struggles to achieve what we want to achieve, shit, I am bad at this. I'm good for nothing. My people around me also tell me, you cannot achieve such a simple thing. Or, the fact of the matter is, you may have put in the best that you could put in to overcome the situation. Give credit for at least attempting to overcome that situation. You don't have to battle yourself or belittle what you have done to overcome the situation. It may not have given you the greatest of the greatest results, but you took the effort. At least applaud the effort that you took to accomplish something. We get so occupied with whether we got the success or not, but the very fact that you even initiated that whole thing where you took the effort is commendable, and you should applaud yourself. And I'm saying should, it's like a compulsion that you have to do it. Why can't we not appreciate ourselves for the tiny efforts that we took to get something? Yeah, drugs and alcohol is something that we need to totally, avoid. It may give you temporary happiness. It will give you that whole, you forget things, and it helps you to deal better with it. It's not the fact. In the long run, it works for the negative, and there's no positive reason why you should be taking, indulging in that. Think of a reason to be proud of yourself. You may be helpless in a particular situation. That does not mean that you haven't achieved anything in your life. The very fact that you're even sitting and thinking about something is an achievement. You may not have had that, film fair or that Bharat Ratna, but the very fact that you're striving to work for something that you really want is an achievement. Staying connected is a very important thing. Okay, it gives you a sense of support, and many a times you'll be like, let me just be of people क्या समझेंगे मुझे या इतना मुझे बोलते हैं and I don't like it. All those things happen, but you or people around you, it's better that you're connected and you're helping the person to work out. Okay. There are a few triggers that you may experience, okay, that you know that now this is a family situation comes in, or you are, in exams, your results are going to be coming, and you get stressed about those reasons. So you need to basically literally remind yourself you're safe and not in danger. There's always someone to support you. Okay. Breathing exercise, when you get excessively anxious or low, just even indulging in a simple breathing exercise of just taking those 3 to 4 deep breaths is something that really helps your your nervous system to calm down, and that's when you can actually go with a bang. You may not do yoga every day in your life. You may find it the most boring thing. Some people find it the most best thing that can happen in life when you're sitting down and meditating. It depends. It's an individual perspective thing. But simple breathing exercise helps your body calm down physiologically, and that is what will help you move forward and think to what you need to do. Okay. Okay. What you can do to help someone around you. Okay. Listen even when no one is talking. So it's like, I may not actually come up to you and tell you I'm feeling depressed, I'm blue, I feel like hurting myself, but I may start withdrawing. I may reduce my interactions. I may not be as active as I am. That is the behavior that you should start looking to and take that into consideration and be the support system. Never shrug off threats of suicide. Okay, if someone tells you, I feel like attempting suicide, I feel like harming myself, तो कुछ भी बोलता है, हमेशा ऐसे ही बोलता है, and तो कुछ नहीं करेगा. Those kind of things, don't take it lightly. The very fact that he's told you this is that there is something bothering. Okay, that also gets me to that whole thing. You just take it so lightly, and you never know that what if it is a very intense in that time. Okay, listen, be there, and get professional help in such a situation. Okay. Encourage the person to avoid drugs and alcohol. There are a lot of people who think that to be a very simple way. Let me get some drugs, let's drink alcohol, and I'll be fine. But that's not the way you will be fine. You're making your body dependent, and you're not dealing with the problem that is troubling you. You're pushing it away, and it's not going to help you in any way. Okay. Being persistent in your efforts to connect. There are times when you're trying to actually be there for the person. It's like, I don't want to talk today, be away, or those kind of things. But take that effort to just check on the person. That very, even that one message, how are you doing, would be something that makes the person realize that there is someone for me, caring for me. And that is what will help the person, motivate the person to actually move a step forward rather than going back. Spreading hope is like you have to be there to make him realize that this is not the end of it. If it is not this, then there is that. Or if you can't do this in this way, you can do it the other way. Okay, and making a safety plan. If the person is communicating to you that I am wanting to harm myself, definitely take the precautions, inform close people around the person, connect to a mental health professional, and do all of those things. See that he's not left alone. That's a very important thing when such things happen. You need to be there. Don't just say, हाँ अभी मैंने बात कर ली फोन पे and छोड़ दिया. In a way, that's not the end of your responsibility. Okay. Be respectful and acknowledge the feelings. Again, making fun of what the person is saying is not something that the person wants to hear, because probably he's dealing with that already. There must have been so many people that, look, you're good for nothing, you can't do this, all that, you have all the negatives already piled up. Now, when he's expressing this with you, if you do not acknowledge it, it's not going to be any helpful. Okay. Patronizing is something that you need to not do. Or judgmental. तू ऐसा कैसा बोल सकता है? तू क्यों बोल रहा है ऐसा? And all those kind of things. This is not a situation that you have to feel this way. You may not feel, but the other person may find it stressful. Okay. Responding quickly. It's another very important thing when it comes to saving a life and dealing with emotion. If he's telling you, don't sleep over it, मैं बाद में देखूंगी, तो क्या बोलता है, मुझे अभी नहीं देखना है. No. There are certain times when you have to really be quick, inform people and get him help. Okay. I will share this with you all in case I'm just going a little more fast because I want you all to actually come to the, ask questions and have a discussion. Okay. Be proactive while you're offering help. आज बोला, कल छोड़ दिया, फिर तीसरे दिन उठ गए. That's not what we need. Okay. Encouraging lifestyle changes and express love and concern. Just saying that I am here for you, I am with you in this, is something that can mean the world to the person who's feeling you. So that's something that can be your USP. Conveying how important he or she is to you, again, it will motivate the person to go forward and think about other options. Okay. There are certain lifestyle changes if you exercise and all of that. Also, it helps in a way, because again, physiologically it will have a lot of impact and gets you rolling. Okay. Then there is this Ajadu Ki Jappi, where we are showing them, giving them the compassion, the empathy. That's all that they need. Okay. Giving them compassion is like they didn't get it, and when you give it to them, it's like kind of a thing, and they are looking forward for it. Okay. So yeah, Jadoo Ki Jappi is something that actually works for them. It would work for you also if I had to come and just give you a hug when you're low. Yeah. Avoid trying to solve the problem, because you are not the complete expert in the problem, I guess, but you can always encourage and motivate them to deal with the problem. Direct advice giving is something that you could refrain from. Even mental health professionals actually help in giving you the coping skills with the problem. So don't really you need to do only this. If you do this, that's when you can pass through it. That's not something that you should be indulging in, because it may have worked for you, not necessarily that it will work for the other one. Okay, offering quick solutions and disregarding feelings is not something that you as a supporter should do. Okay, encourage help-seeking behavior. Obviously, it's like I say, you cannot have a solution to every problem. You need an expert. Every doctor does not deal with every problem. There's always a panel of experts. So you need to get them connected to the right help. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to skip through all of this. Be there with them. Listen. I'm constantly emphasizing on being there and listening, because it's like sometimes we get a little scared and we like just take a step back, because we do not want to get into the parent problem that may come upon you, but it's not going to be helpful and it's not going to solve the problem. And if the person has come to you, please listen and encourage. And this does not mean that it happens only when a person is feeling suicidal or engaging in any self-harming behavior. This can happen usually because, like I said at the start, anxiety and depression, piling up is what is a preventive thing. So if you have learned to deal with it, or go a little step back and be positive, be a little hopeful, is what helps, and you can again come together and do that for yourself and for another person. Okay, don't dare him or her to actually indulge in it. It's like तू ऐसा बोल रहा ना, करके तो दिखा kind of thing. For all you know, they might get that the other person does not believe that there is any hope. That is why he's telling me. And mazak mein also, please don't do it. That's one thing that you again refrain from. Being shocked. Oh my God, how can a person like you say such a thing? No, everybody feels emotions. Everybody feels low. It's just that he's voicing it out to you. Okay, I may be a scholar, I may be whoever I am, but does not mean I do not feel stressed or I do not need help. Okay, do not damn it. Okay, so that's disregarding signals, as in he telling you or withdrawing from your group, those kind of things. Avoiding the person. Okay, and miss or mistake signals. हाँ ये तो ऐसे ही बोलता होगा kind of a thing. No, please pay attention. It's not going to it's not that you have to take the full boja of the person, but you can help, you can get out. Okay, so do not damn it. When the person comes and tells you this, the first thing you need to do is be calm. Don't be scared. He's come to you because he's hopeful that you can help him. Okay, so you have the skills and he needs you. Being there is an important thing. Asking a why is not something that I would say. Go for a what. What have you been feeling? How have you felt after XYZ episode? What and how questions are something that you could indulge in, and that's when it enhances the communication and you can take it forward and help it. Okay. Yeah, if he is telling you I feel like harming myself, हाँ ठीक है मैं तेरे लिए कुछ करता हूँ, मैं बताऊँगा तेरे को, and you just leave it there. Don't do that. Please see to it that he gets help because he needs help. Don't leave the person alone. I have mentioned this earlier as to how things can go. Okay. Panicking. Oh shit! You need to avoid this, huh? Oh shit! He's going to do something, and you get all flustered. You don't know who to contact, and you're just networking. Okay, I know that's a human reaction that you may experience when someone calls you up and tells you, look, I'm feeling suicidal and I'm going to harm myself. Obviously, you might feel that, but don't have to overreact. You need to be there and first help. Okay, it might come across to you as shock. I understand that, but you need to first, focus on helping the person, being there. Name calling, you're a psycho, to pagal hai, kya ho gaya hai, all those kind of things, avoid it. Criticizing, again, that's something that you need to avoid. Preaching or lecturing, अरे you should do this, अगर तुम ऐसा करते तो तुम ऐसे महसूस करते, blah blah blah. You don't have to give them that. Okay, ignoring as if something never even happened. That's again going to just pile up, and it will, even if not now, then at a later point in life, it will just blast out. Abandoning the attempt survivor. Okay, that's one thing that many of us really, may actually do. So that's something, and you can't leave the person just like that. If it, the person will probably not able to, not be able to even motivate himself to actually get the help that he needs. Okay. और punishing the attempt survivor, अगर तूने ये नहीं किया, जब तक ये ठीक नहीं होगा, I will not talk to you, I will break contact with you. That's not going to help. That will in fact add to the stress of the person, and it will just keep going on and on and on and on. Okay. Simplifying things. Okay, that's again, it may not be important in your eyes, but it is of great importance for the other person. Okay, that's why he is stressed and he feels the way he feels, and he wants a solution. Okay, so don't simplify. या ऐसे छोटी सी बात तो है, तुम कर लोगे तो काम खत्म हो जाएगा. That's something that you don't have to do. Okay. When to seek help? When the person has already started a suicide attempt, call for help immediately. Dealing with a suicide threat is very straightforward. So you also need to seek assistance, and you need to be aware about how you need to, help the person. That's one thing. If all attempts have failed, and don't blame yourself. Okay, that's one thing. Are you did all that you could, blah blah, मैं ये कर सकता था, मैंने वो किया. Don't blame yourself. Now I'm going to give you the who do you contact if there's an emergency. One, a suicide prevention helpline, a psychiatric hospital or a ward or a walk-in clinic, hospital emergencies, urgent care centers, or you call the cops. Okay, so these are the 5 things that you can immediately do when you know that someone is actually planning to imagine something. Okay. I'm going to give you my 3 E's and 3 F's that I say if we have, it definitely makes life a little more easier. Okay, and the 3 E's are energy, empathy, and enthusiasm. The 3 F's are family, faith, and friends. Okay, if you have the 3 E's and 3 F's, I personally believe you're going to be able to roll over and get out of the situation. Okay, yeah. So now I would like to, if there are any questions, I would like to answer those.
Ma'am, with your permission, I would like to proceed.
Yeah.
All the participants and audience who have any questions can put them in the chat box. We will address them later. Now I would like to request our respected principal, Madam Vaishali Gaurav, to please address the session.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
A very good afternoon to all of y'all. I think due credit to Ms. Kiran Makhijani madam. Kiran ma'am, from what I see of you on the video, you seem to be a very young person. And the last nearly 60 minutes of your insights into the subject only reaffirms the fact that you have a very deep study on this topic. And I congratulate you, and I also take this opportunity to thank you for sharing with us your knowledge with our young students. And I would also like to make a note of a few points here. Is that today, that is 10th of September, the World Suicide Prevention Day, which is of course observed as subscribed or prescribed by the World Health Organization along with the World Federation of Mental Health and also the International Association of Suicide Prevention Association. So it is at an international level that it has been studied, and statistical data proves that there are nearly a million, that is 10 lakh people dying of suicide every year, which is a very huge amount of people. And what I have observed is the incidence of suicide have only increased in the last 15 to 20 years. And as Makhijani madam rightly said, that there is too much of expectations nowadays amongst especially the youth, because you want to look like Disha Patani and you want to earn like maybe Kangana Ranaut, and you know, you want to have the knowledge of perhaps, I don't know, someone like Hillary
Same.
Clinton. So, you know, you want everything on your plate, which perhaps is, I'm not to say that I blame the youth for that. It is not bad to aspire for the best things in life. But as Makhijani madam also mentioned, that the 3 E's and 3 F's are also very important. Try to know exactly who your friends are, what your family is, and have a proper relation, and at the same time empathize with people who do not have the same. So what came to my mind again when I was listening to Kiran ma'am is that since our NSS unit belongs to a law college and we are a law college, and I understand that there are a lot of people in this forum who are not associated with law. But what I would like to mention is, in our legal system, attempt to commit suicide or even abetment to commit suicide is considered to be a crime. It is an offense. Okay. So there is a certain social stigma attached to it. Why this stigma? Arey, usko atmahatya karni hai. So people will just go in a shoo-shoo manner. They will not speak outwardly, you know, they will not talk about it, because A is legality and second is the social stigma attached to it. Hence, there's a lot of under-reporting of attempts to commit suicide. So I think we all should be very much aware about, as madam said, those 5 very important contacts which she has given, emergency contacts, where you come across your friends or someone who are, if you feel, are on that track of, you know, depression, then it is imperative that we try to ignore the stigma attached to it, ignore the of course, I'm not saying ignore the law, but it is imperative that you report the cases, which is very important, I believe. On that point, to my law students as well as my non-law audience, I would like to recommend that you read 2 case laws. You could just Google them. You need not read the judgment, but you could just read something on a case which is called the Maruti Dubal case. It is about an attempt to suicide case. And then after that also read Gyan Kaur case. Now, there was a recent judgment, you may have heard of Justice Dhananjay Chandrachud, wherein he tries to say, he has said in fact, that we need to revisit how right to die is a part of right to life. And he says that we need to revisit these judgments in Gyankor. So I don't want to get into the legality of it, but I would advise you all to read under what circumstances people are trying to commit suicide. When a person is already distressed and he's wanting to die, and if he fails to commit suicide, then it shouldn't happen that he is criminalized and he's put behind bars for attempting to commit suicide. That is what the Maruti Dubal case is about. What is important is that we need empathy. Another important point is we need to be able to distinguish between mental health and emotional stress or emotional well-being.
Yes.
What does it mean? Because for the mental health, there is the Mental Health Care Act, which protects people from Section 309, that is the attempt to commit suicide. So it is important that we understand what is mental illness and what is emotional stress. Another point which I would like to make is perhaps in the last 15, 30 years, the instances of suicide are increasing probably because our lifestyle has been changing. There is less of physical activity happening. And from what I read, I have understood that the more active you are, the more chemical balance in your brain and body is working to benefit your well-being. So it is extremely important that you don't just sit on your laptops and mobile phones, but it is imperative that you do your exercise. Be it for 20 minutes in a day, be it for 30 minutes minimum, but it is imperative that there has to be some physical activity. So to club all my points, I would say that physical activity, empathy for other people, and compassion for those who are undergoing depression is the need for that, for the need of the hour, and we all need to be mindful of the fact and aware. Please make sure that you retain those 5 emergency contacts with you all the time on your phone, so that you, the moment you feel a friend or a family member or anyone from college or whoever is suicidal, then you can take the necessary steps.
And
Yes,
with
ma'am.
your permission, I would like to share the suicide helpline, actually the whole list, to the students through the unit, like if you could do that.
Yes,
Because
yes,
I have
ma'am.
a list, so I
Yes,
would
yes.
like to share it.
I would also like to apologize because after my address, I may have to leave the meeting. You all can continue your question answer round because I have to join another meeting with the University of Mumbai. So I will have to please, with your permission, take your leave. But I would like to end on one important note, is that I would like to congratulate Vishal Shinde sir, Professor Vishal Shinde sir, and all the NSSites of Advocate Barasaheb Apte College of Law for bringing together this program, especially on this day today, when this day is commemorated as the World Suicide Prevention Day. And I also take this opportunity to thank Ms. Kiran Makhijani, madam. I thank you so much for that intricate and detailed explanation of all the facets of suicide prevention. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the very best. Thank you once again.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Principal Ma'am. I would like to thank you for your constant support and presence in the session. It means a lot to us. Now to proceed, I would like to invite our program officer, Professor Vishal Shinde sir, to address the session. So you can proceed.
Yes, Vishal sir, may I take your leave now?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you,
Thank you for
everyone.
joining, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Suchitra. Today's guest speaker, Ms. Kiran, has put a proper insight on all the aspects of therapy to prevent the suicide, and also Principal Ma'am has enlightened us all from the legal perspective of this concept, suicide. Okay, so there is very less scope for me to address you all on this issue. So I'll try to introduce all to this particular day, which has been selected as World Suicide Prevention Day. So as Principal Ma'am mentioned, am I audible properly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
As Principal
Yes.
Madam rightly pointed out, that the issue of suicide has been either increased in last 20 years or being reported properly in last 20 years. But it is true that there is a huge increase in suicides in last 20 years. So this thing was taken into consideration by the World Health Organization, and in the year 2014, the first report was prepared by WHO regarding the prevention of suicide. So that report was submitted to the United Nations, and that report is famously called as Geneva Report. The report was submitted on 4th of September 2014. So as the effect of this report which was submitted, so World Health Organization and United Nations decided to celebrate the World Suicide Prevention Day, and it was firstly observed in the year 2014. And from then onwards, it is being regularly observed every year on 10th of September, that is today. So this World Suicide Prevention Day is organized by International Association for Suicide Prevention, as Principal Ma'am mentioned, IASP, with collaboration with the WHO, World Health Organization. These two organizations collectively observe the Suicide Prevention Day. So if you spend a little bit time on the nomenclature of this day, the World Suicide Prevention Day, it's a Suicide Prevention Day. The word prevention denotes that this thing, suicide, can be prevented. That is the most important message that World Health Organization has given, that suicide is a thing which can be prevented, first of all. Okay, and I think that is what the entire therapy is about. So it can be prevented. The second thing that which is mentioned in the report submitted by the WHO in the year 2014, that suicide is a global phenomenon. First of all, you have to understand, suicide is a global phenomenon. In today's situation, we can see there is a wave of depression all over the world because of the lockdown and because of the pandemic. And there is a wave of depression, and today's situation in the world is quite prone to the suicide. So present situation is a very good example to demonstrate this thing, that suicide is a global phenomenon. So this firstly was observed in the report submitted by the WHO, that suicide is a global phenomenon and it requires a global address to it. It requires an international action to tackle this phenomenon. Okay, that was mentioned in the report. Secondly, suicide as a taboo, suicide as a strange thing, suicide as an abnormal thing. It is a general perception in the minds of individuals in the society. So in that particular report, it was highlighted by the WHO that we have to break this taboo first of all. We have to look at this problem, this suicide, as a normal issue. Yes, it is an issue. It requires some attention. It requires some treatment. But there is nothing strange about it. It is a kind of, it could be a mental illness, it could be some distress of the person, and there is nothing to be felt strange about it. So it's not a taboo, first of all, and it can be properly addressed and it can be totally prevented. I would like to quote Dr. Margaret Chan, who was the then WHO Director in General. This report is a call for action to address a large public health problem which has been shrouded in taboo for so long time. So first of all, the director says it is a large public health issue. It is nothing more than a public health issue. It is a public health issue. You don't have to hide anything, any feeling related to suicide. It is not a strange thing. It is not a taboo at all. It is a normal public health issue which is required to be addressed on an international level. That is what the director is saying. So by that, as a result of this report, we are now observing the World Suicide Prevention Days, and in the year of 2020, that is present year, the targets were set by the WHO that by the year 2020, the WHO will achieve the goal of reducing suicides by 10% worldwide. Okay, reducing all the suicides by 10%. In the year 2014, there were 8 lakh suicides per year. The rate of suicide that time in the year of 2014 was 8 lakh. And the goal set by WHO was to reduce the suicides worldwide by at least 10%. This was the goal. So the report of this year is yet to be arrive in the public domain. So we don't have the WHO report for the present year. When the report will come, we'll come to know whether we have achieved that goal, where we have falling short of achieving the goal or what. So I think that is the sufficient information regarding the day, Suicide Prevention Day. So I would like you all to appeal to visit the WHO website. WHO has a proper information, all the information related to the World Suicide Prevention Day on its website. It will hardly take 10 minutes. I request at least all NSS volunteers to visit the WHO website immediately after the session. All the information that I have just pointed out, all the information, in addition to that, some other information is also available on the WHO website. And one more thing, as Kiran madam has given us the list of authorities which we can contact in case of any suicidal situation. So in addition to that, the government has issued a special pandemic helpline to prevent the suicide in the pandemic. That was started in the month of July, just 2 months back. The government has issued one special helpline to prevent the suicides in the present pandemic. Okay. So I think this information is sufficient. Over to you, Suchitra.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insight. Now, with the permission of Ms. Makhijani, ma'am, I would like to proceed with the Q&A session.
Sure, we can go ahead.
Ma'am, I'll read you the questions one by one. The first question was asked by Soham. He asked, are people who often use suicide threats as a means of emotionally manipulating people to make them behave a certain way capable of actually committing suicide?
Soham, if they are actually telling you this, like I mentioned earlier, it is a cry for help. They want something, which is why they are using it, regardless of it being just to manipulate or not. Definitely, you need to get the right help. You need to connect to the concerned authority, even if it is just a threat and just a way to manipulate you, manipulate a person. That person is definitely going through something, which is why he is indulging in it. That does not mean, even you may have even noticed certain instances where the person has these manipulative tendencies, but that does not mean you do not get to the help. That in itself is an indicator that something is wrong. Even manipulative behavior is an indicator.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to remind the participants that the feedback form link is put up in the chat box. You can avail it now. And going on to the next question, it was asked by Sashank. He said, can a toxic person or friend group motivate or promote self-harm?
So see, when a person is of a negativistic personality kind, so definitely, he'll be like, you will see a more hopeless kind of a thing, tone in his talk. So yeah, you might adapt to that. But then again, if he has the capacity to do that, you can promote self-achieving behaviors in others. You can also reverse it if you keep that kind of resistance and resilience to what is happening around you. You, instead of getting carried away in the toxic atmosphere, you promote it the other way. Also, there's a line that you need to draw with the kind of, the way of interactions with them.
Ma'am, the next question is asked by Bhagyashree. Often people who attempt a suicide are called cowards, but harming oneself isn't an easy task. How can we make people understand the situation better?
One way that I would put it is, if you do not have an atmosphere, if you do not have an environment where we promote talking and coming out in the open, how are we going to be able to help them, because somewhere we are lacking. That's why they do not have an option. That is why they go into indulging into such behavior. So getting that out to society is an important and an a major thing that we actually need to do, because being judgmental, अरे तुम कैसे ऐसे feel कर सकते हो, that's not the purpose. And it really takes a lot if it has to come onto yourself. If we imagine, they probably by themselves have tried so many things already, because they do not get the right help. That is why they feel the helplessness, and they say that it's better I harm myself because I cannot see change anywhere around me. So
Okay,
we
ma'am.
can conduct a lot of awareness stuff and do all those kinds of things.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. One question which we feel is really important to talk about right now is how to maintain mental health during this pandemic situation.
Maintaining mental health during the pandemic, like I mentioned earlier, there is a lot of uncertainty. So my line is find certainty in the uncertainty. There are certain things that you can definitely be thankful for. There are certain things that you can definitely handle and take care, whether it is the task that you have to do in terms of your academics, whether it is for your family, and the basic thing, having that sense of gratitude that yes, you are fine, you are in a position where you can help yourself and help other people. That starts with it, because if you adapt to the negativity, if you start being in that whole thing, like those breaking news that COVID is happening, COVID is at this stage and this is what is happening, that in itself is one thing. Don't get too involved in it, but yeah, add your knowledge. Know what you're supposed to do, but don't overdo it. So that's one thing. And maintaining a routine is something that nobody is following. So that's another thing that you could do. It will help you, being in that same mental frame that you would want to be.
Thank you, ma'am. Somebody asked about the helpline numbers. If you could just share it with us after the session, we'll forward it in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Now I would request everyone to please switch on your cameras so we can take photographs.
Hello. So Chitra, I had a question. Can I directly ask it and not type?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Hi, ma'am. My name is Rashmi. So I had a question. You suggested that, when your friend is in distress, you could help them out, be there for them, and not leave them, in between whatever they're going through. And I understand that. But isn't it also really important to set boundaries? Because sometimes, as you said, it becomes manipulative. They are asking for help, and I get that. But it's all, how do you set boundaries in a way that their condition isn't affecting me? Just for the sake of friendship, I am not putting them before my own needs, and it doesn't become very toxic for myself just because I'm trying to help them out.
So the first, when I say don't leave them alone, is I mean that if the person has communicated to you that I am feeling the distress, I am feeling suicidal, I mean, don't take that completely lightly. Definitely, you need to connect them to their family members, and you need to get them to the mental health help where they can move forward. Coming on to not leaving them alone, there are certain things that you could just do to check on them. Okay, if you think that if you constantly indulge with them, it is going to start affecting you, you can take that step back. But remember, if you are a friend, there are certain things that you're anyways going to be doing. Like, even that hi, how are you? You can leave it there. But be around so that they know next time, if they need to talk, they can at least talk to you or inform you that they are feeling that.
Thank you, ma'am. I would request everyone to please turn on your cameras for photographs.
Can I ask my question?
Yes.
Okay. Generally, people who are prone to suicide are also very introvert in their nature. They don't open up to people easily. They have very few friends, and they stay very reserved. So, how do we approach those people, and how can we help them to get comfortable around us and also share their problems with us, because introverts don't generally, they stay away from people, or they don't exactly open up to people quickly. So how do we approach them?
See, yeah. So when an introvert is really not, in that whole zone where he may not be able to talk to you because he will have the thing that, confidentiality is something that we all want, the privacy. So maybe as a friend, he may not be able to discuss all the family problems or all the kind of academic stress or whatever the problem is. So instead of, expecting him to start opening up, the least you can do is help him to get the help. That I understand that you may be going through a certain phase, and in case if you are not, if you think that thing is not the way you want to talk to me, but you can talk to a professional about it, and then help me. That's the least you can do, is to help me, rather than having कि तू मेरा दोस्त है, तू मेरे साथ बात कर. No, that's not. There are maybe in his head those boundaries are there. He may not want to open up to you, or maybe not. That does, and one more thing, it doesn't make you a bad friend. It just in fact makes you a person who's giving him the space and the opportunity to just have you there, but yet not take you into that whole zone.
Thank you, everyone. We are done with the question and answer session. Now I would again like to ask everyone to please turn on your cameras so we can take pictures. Okay, moving on. I would like to thank Ms. Kiran Makhijani ma'am. Ma'am, this was really helpful and informative. We got to understand the problem of suicide and its solutions in detail. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your knowledge, for sharing it with us. I would like to thank our principal madam for her presence and support in the session. And also thank you everybody who joined us here in the audience, and also the people, the outsiders who are not from college but gave their presence in the session. Thank you so much. To end the session, I would request everyone to rise for the national anthem, and it will be played on the screen. So please keep your mics on mute. Thank you. It's not audible.
Can you spare a minute? I will just check with my laptop. Thank you. Is it audible?
Yes, it is. Now it is.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
I'd like to thank everyone then for the session, and with the permission of the hour, we'd like to end the meeting. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.